Shalom, shalom. Yes, right. This is Oholah Oholabah with you here once again, 23rd of June, 2019, WOLB 1010. It's a pleasure being with you here, and it's good to have a producer helping you out, especially when you're new, to help you through this. This job is more difficult than you think. People like David Johnson makes it look easy. You could wake that man up 3 o'clock in the morning and throw Nehemiah at him and say, break it down, and he would do it. But I'm going to do my best here to finish up on Oholah Oholabah, terminology that Ezekiel used that we don't know how really shameful it is to even call us that. We're so bad that he didn't want to call us Yisrael and Yehuda. He called us Oholah and Oholabah, which directly talks about us as vaginas. It's like calling you a biatch. That's what he's doing, really. He's not calling you by your given names on your birth certificates. He's calling you Oholah and Oholabah, which are vaginas. That's what they represent, and that's what he's calling you. He's being vulgar because what happens is when no one goes into the bathroom and uses it and is like repulsed. You're used to your own stench. You're used to it. You've had it all your life. You're used to your own stuff. You're used to how you smell. You're used to how you look, how you talk, and you're numb by it. Someone outside of you are not, and we are so bad and vile and foul that we're used to it. So he has to go ahead and shock us. No one kept it more real of all the prophets than Ezekiel. And this uh, verse, they call it chapter 23. It really is not something you want to even talk about in front of children and mixed company. This is men talking. This should be men at the table talking. And do I dare even go to Ezekiel 16? I might, but it might take about 4 weeks to do it. I'm thinking about it. I'm seriously considering it, but we're bad. We're bad. We've always been. Go back to Samuel when we said Samuel chapter 8. We said, make us a king to judge us like all the nations. We never wanted to be under Yahweh. We always want to be like the neighbors across the street, next door. The grass is green on the other side. Make us a king to judge us like all the nations. This is offensive. So we try to live the way the other nations live and go by how they live. I'll tell you a big example: voting. We think that, hey, this is the way you do it. What? Yahweh didn't ask you to vote for him. He said, I will rule over you. It is not a democracy where everybody comes together and then Yahweh makes judgments based on how many people vote for whatever he wants. Okay, we got 10 commandments. Y'all vote on which ones y'all want to keep, which ones y'all don't want to keep. It's not that way. You already voted to take out the fourth one, the only one he says to remember. And you added it in and put in one about making sure you pay those tithes, though you made sure you did that. It's not about voting. It's to wit, Isaiah 3:4. I will give children to be their princes, and babes will rule over them. Finished. Let me go ahead and read 12. 3:12. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, those who lead you cause you to err and destroy the way of your paths. Remember my example about the good parent who her child wants to have a snack before dinner? You offer them, okay, sure, whatever you want. Apple, orange, banana. You don't care which one they choose because they're going to choose what you want. Your enemy says here, arsenic or lead. They don't care which one you choose because either way you die. And you want to live like them, they let you choose who you vote for because anyone you choose is going to lead you to error. They're like women and children. We're stupid. Remember Jeremiah 4. It doesn't matter who you vote for. They give you the choices. And here you are, 400, what do you need? 1,146,000 more days of waking up before you realize, oh, wait a minute. Maybe we got to stop this voting thing because we still end up under their thumb. Maybe we need to stop utilizing their education to understand the world because we're still under them. Maybe we need to stop utilizing their ways of dealing with our finances because we're still poor. You just need 146,000 more days to get it. Because Job 9 tells you the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. If not, then who is he and where is he? You're in his world. So stop voting for his people. Stop being educated by him. Stop using his ways of becoming wealthy. Dawid said before his dying days that in 2 Samuel 23, he that rules over man must be just. And it's true. Today, we are being ruled in justice. Yes, we are. Just us. Remember, the us stands for United States. So you're being ruled just us, just by the United States, not by Yehuda, not by Israel, not by you. You're being ruled in justice. Just them, not you. You're being ruled by the United States. You don't want to be in this man's court system. Just is a mathematical word. It means equal. Just as what's on the left is just as what's on the right. It's equal. Are you being ruled in the court system equally? David's son, Shlomo, said that in Ecclesiastes 8:9, at some point, he that rules over you will rule you to his own hurt. So while they're ruling you in injustice, at some point, it's going to come back to them. And my eyes, look at these big bubbly eyes I got. My eyes will see the reward of the wicked. My own eyes, I will see it. I will live and not die. I will see that day. You ruling over me in injustice is going to turn back to you to your own hurt. It's going to do that. Stop seeking reparations, dollars. Whose face is on the money? Where does the money come from? Who made it? Who told you to desire it? You're seeking reparations without. Did you read Psalms 2:8? No, you didn't. No. He said, ask of me and I will give you the inheritance. I will give you the nations. That's what you want. You want whatever you walk on, you want to have authority over that. What the hell do you need with dollars? What are you going to do with that? Buy their stuff? That's their standard. You don't want money? What is it? You want the land, which was stolen from you. You want the earth. You want the nations. You want to be the head, not the tail. As long as they're giving you money, the person who gives the money has authority over the one who receives it. That's why he's the one that's giving it. And you're at the bottom of your palm up. No, you're supposed to be sitting on the throne, and they're supposed to be your footstool. Oholah Oholabah. We went over last week our harlotry in our youth, and then as we got matured, we talked about how we were zanah. It's not just regular prostitution, it's cult prostitution. And our taznuth is not just fornication, it's idolatry. In other words, it's marrying worship with the fornication. It's marrying them together. You're taking strychnine and arsenic and putting them together. You're making it, you're just really heaping it. And we started out, Mizraim broke us in. When we were young and our tits were nice and taut. And then we let them just treat us harshly, not even like a loving man would do, to someone who's new and unexperienced. Treated us rough. And then we talked about how we argob. We would breathe after them. You can hear us just the lust in our breath and our eyes and looking and wantingly at them. It was Nathan. We pay them to do this, to ravage us. In what way? In a tame way, unclean in a sexually impure ceremonial way. This is not just getting a piece on the side. This is done in a ritualistic ceremonial way that Ezekiel is telling us. This is not just normal running around and cheating. Gala, erval, all these words we talked about last week. We talked about how we showed our padunda. I mean, just straight up, just lift up the skirt and show them the tent. And then expose the peyor. This is, I mean, this kind of stuff you don't even want to talk about with women and children. It's right in the book. Right in the book. All done to destroy us, make us rotten and spoiled. You cannot unspoil something. If it's rotten, you can unrotten it. Don't spoil your child. Because once they're spoiled, it'll take a miracle to unrotten and unspoil it. When the egg is cracked, you can't put it all back in the egg. These men, and we talked about how after we got matured, went after other lovers, and they just fell upon us, just attacked. They didn't just gently go into the tent. They jumped on it and beat it up and bind it, and they gang bind it. How did we get to them? We talked about Yahweh. We tore ourselves away from Yahweh, our husband. We didn't just sneak away. We ripped ourselves out of his grip. The way Yusuf did to the Egyptian, to Potiphar's wife. And she tore his clothing and ran away from her. That's what we should not, that's what we did to the Most High. That's what we did to him. And then we talked about, Ezekiel really got graphic about their genitalia and the issue of it and the size of it and all this stuff. It's just awful. How these men came at to us in a chamal way, in heat and anger and rage, hot displeasure, poison, burning. They gave us STDs. And we paid for this and we kept going. And now we're going to talk today about how now after all of that, now we are older. Balech. Worn out, old, worn out. Now our breasts are down to our knees. We got to put on a girdle to tighten up that stomach. Put on one of those butt lifts and all that kind of stuff. Put on all that heavy, make that makeup nice and heavy and thick. Put on that loud lipstick on our lips, which we should not be wearing red lipstick. Red lipstick directly puts the man's mind into that woman's vagina, lips. That's what it's for. Sisters, do not wear it. So now at this point, who we get are like the ruffians, the Sabians. These people are raw, unrefined. They just the blue collar men, go to work with their hard hat and boots, filthy and dirty, come from work, go to happy hour, drink some brews, and then they come looking at you. We look so bad. They got it. I was in the Marine Corps, and one of the things that the men did, there's always more men than women. And the men, they go around and say, you know what, by the end of the day, pickings is really slim now, and you still ain't got a piece. You're going to have to get, the ones what's left, they must be left because they really bad. So the men will look at, that one, yeah, she's like a 9-beer woman. That means they got to put down 9 beers before they think about touching that one. This one, she's 11. That one, it's a lot of numbers. They got to get good and drunk to deal with these women because that's what's left. But you know what? They don't want to go by themselves. We took the Sabians when we got Balech, old. And they treated us just as bad once they got drunk with us. Treated us like a disgusting, ritually disgusting thing. And it's shameful. Not only that, you your first black president, Bill Clinton, went out and got a BJ and then went to church. Well, that's what we did. We went and committed harlotry with the Sabians and then went to worship. As a matter of fact, that wasn't enough. We went in and had and done it in the temple. That's just like your husband going out to work and you sneaking the man in there, looking like a hot mess with all that makeup on, with that girdle on to tighten up that fat belly, and your breasts is hanging down to your knees and lifting them up, and you go in there and make the house all nice and clean while the husband is out working, and you defile yourself with some drunkard. That's what we did. That's what we did. You know, Ezekiel was the right man for this message because he was made to physically feel the pain of Yahweh in dealing with our raggedy butts. Through all his ministry, he went through physical pain and torment to give this report. But who has heard our report? Who's listening? Who's out there listening? This is Yahonatan Dawi with you here. Yahweh for Christians. I'm Original Words, Original Truth. 443-306-3518. I have a second book coming out. It should be out in a few weeks. And I'll be discussing that, talking about that. But who is listening? You know, I talked about Ezekiel 16. That message is a very multi-layered message. It really directly talks about churchianity, Christianity. Whenever the Torah is talking about religious idolatry, it's a woman. The woman represents harlotry. Harlotry can only be done by the woman, not the man, because the promise of the Most High came through the woman's seed, not the man's seed. Keep that straight in your head. So Yahweh overwatches the matrix of his tent. As such, she is not permitted to have multiple lovers. The man, you know, he had multiple wives. The promise ain't come through his seed anyway. He is to be the head of the tent. That was his job from the beginning. That job wasn't taken from him. But the one who crushes the beast's head, who is a male, and the harlot sits on his head, all the religions are married with the nations, with the legal system of this world. The legal system is a beastly system. Just us, just the United States, not you. And she sits on that, she rides on that. And then you go to Ezekiel 16, and often he talks about our worship on every corner. The number one type of building in Baltimore City is the church. You cannot count the number of churches in Baltimore. The number two most popular building in Baltimore City is the bar. If you add up all the churches in Baltimore City and all the bars, those two buildings alone are more in number than all the other combined buildings in Baltimore City. Churches and bars. But you go to Beit Yah, where they're talking about Yahweh and Yahweh Shua, you do well to get 20 people in there. Because you want your red suit now. You want your reward now. You're being taught wealth now. Name it and claim it, blab it and grab it. This is not Torah preaching. This is remnant radio, and only those who are remnant even care about this. I get my words from remnant preaching. And remnant preaching does not pack the pews because it's not about getting yours now. Ask of me, and I will give you the nations. You don't want their stuff now because you still will be beholding to them. Whoever gives is more powerful than the receiver. And you want them to give reparations, sending out your foolish celebrities out there to speak for it. Stop this. Stop this. A man of Yah is in the book. He's not out there for your votes. He's not out there to uh, 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 try to be a popular person. He's out there teaching, laying down the bricks as best he can. Yehonathan Dawid with you here, Yahweh for Christians at gmail.com. So, all promises of Yah come to fruition. All of them. Whatever he says he will do, he is not like man that he should lie. But he does not say that, okay, now I promise you this, so you're just going to smoothly receive it. If Yahweh is going to lay the plumb line against his own son and judge his son brick by brick, line by line, word by word, letter by letter, spirit by spirit, and he's just going to let you just float on through. We're always talking about we follow in the footsteps of Yahshua. You even say Jesus. Well, the footsteps of your so-called Jesus, and especially of Yahshua, it ended where? Where did his footsteps end? If you love him, keep his commandments and follow him. But in following him, where did it end? Did it end in a lap of luxury on top of the world with all its gifts and riches? Or did it end with a burnt offering on the tree? May Yahweh accept your burnt offering and your sacrifice. People don't even understand what that means because they're too busy naming and claiming, blabbing and grabbing. They don't really want, they just want the benefits of Yahweh without the work. Let me read that since I said that's Psalm 20. Here's the part everybody likes. May Yahweh answer you in the day of trouble. May the name, see that? The name of the Elohim of Yaakov defend you. People don't, you Christians out there, he says the name of Elohim defend you. May he send you help from the sanctuary and strengthen you out of Zion. Now we love all that. Sounds good. We love all that. But here's the part we read but don't understand. May he remember, Zekir, all your offerings and accept your burnt sacrifice. And after the word sacrifice, he says Selah. Selah means think on that. He didn't say Selah after may he answer you in all the day of trouble. He says Selah only after he says may he accept your burnt sacrifice. What is your burnt sacrifice? Your burnt sacrifice is not naming it and claiming it, speaking in tongues, blabbing it and grabbing all kinds of foolishness. Your burnt sacrifice is loving Yahweh with all your heart, all your might, all your soul, giving all of yourself to him. And then you will receive the wealth of the nations. You will be the head, not the tail. Not trying to get his benefits now. We want to go ahead and not covenant with Yahweh. We want to be under his house, but and get the benefits of it without the sacrifice of it. We want to have our red stew now. We're not getting it. We are selfish hoes. Oholah Oholabah. Stop this. You will get everything. Yahweh is not a man that he should lie. Everything he says he will do, you get everything. Give your burnt sacrifice. Worship him in spirit and in truth. There's plenty of spirit in the churches, but there's no truth. What are you in there today for? What are you in church today for? Show me. Show me in the book where you're supposed to be in there today. In a church that has a middle finger pointing against him. A penis. Those pinnacles, yes, the churches are designed as profane buildings. You didn't even know that, did you? There is no architecture in all the book of Yah where Israel had pointed spires on their roof. That is an offense to Yahweh. It's supposed to be a dome, curved. And do I need to go back again? Look at the old YouTube channels about your cursed cross. Is there any unwicked way in you? Is there anything authentic about you? Are your fishes authentic? Did that come from Yahweh or did it come from your hoeing? Did your cross come from Yahweh or did it come from your holy? How did you receive these things? Did your Sunday worship, your Easter, your Christmas, where did these all come from? It came from you leaving the house and going across the street, going to every neighbor, going next door, left door, to all your lovers. That's where it came from. And then you brought it back into the house. Stop this. It ain't come from him. He ain't teach you nothing about no Easter. He ain't teach you that. January 1st, you out there celebrating the new year. You fools. Stop this. Who is hearing my report? But we all say, oh, it's the right way is the true is narrow. It's narrow. As such, if it's narrow, how you get 2 billion people in churchianity? And remember, it doesn't matter what religion you in, they all claim God. You can sit at a table with every other religion and all talk about God and not have one debate and one argument. Because in their minds, in their hearts, they see who they worship. There's no offense in talking about God. Talk about Yahshua, and then you got an offense. You can even get by with some Yahweh. People like Robert LaFalin has already gotten us to accept Yahweh. The world, hey, U2 got a song called Yahweh, Yahweh. It's really, to me, in 2019, ain't no big deal talking about Yahweh. My book is called Yahweh for Christians. I got people who say, yeah, we know, I know y'all, yeah. They're not shocked to see that. It's no big deal. Get your 2 little thumbs out and your smartphone, which is smarter than you, and Google what is the name of God, and Yahweh pops up. What this world needs to accept now is Yahshua. And talking about Ezekiel, that's what those last chapters talk about. The reason why nobody comes out of the millennial kingdom, and I don't care what you've been taught, I might have to go and write about this one, is because they do not accept Yahshua. They only accept, again, the face of things, the form and the formality of things. They're forced to accept the rules and laws, but when it comes down to that so-called black man, and that black man cracks the sky, they're not going to accept him. Today's task, today's burden is Yahweh Shua. Today's burden is Yahweh Shua. That is the task at hand. And you only got a few, you don't have much time left. You don't have much time left. And there's no such thing as loving the Father and hating the Son. There ain't no such thing. And you cannot hate the Son and love the Father. It ain't no such thing. You cannot separate the two. You cannot do it. Ain't nobody getting into kingdom hating either one of them. You got to love them both. You got to accept them both. I might have to do that, Ezekiel 16. It's a lot, but I have other things to talk about. Because we are too busy in everybody else's houses instead of our own. I looked up 166 nations and looked at their creeds and their oaths and their allegiances. And most of them all talk about God in their formal statements to the world. And if they're not talking about God, they're talking about hard work and coming together. That's because they don't read the Torah. Daniel says we are in the time of iron and clay. There is no coming together. There is no unity. It's not happening. It's not. And it's not even happening and this is a genetic thing, because you got a lot of people out here. I cannot even tell you all. Can't let you know everything. But let's stick to Israel. Tribes fight one another. Clans stick together. And the tribes of Israel are under the feet of the clans because they are together. While us tribes fight one another. And we've always fought against one another. Always. And we always will until we're forced not to. Yehonatan Dawit with you here, Yahweh for Christians at gmail.com, 443-306-3518. Who is listening? Who has heard my report? For shame. For shame. For shame on us. Oholah and Oholabah. So bad that he didn't even want to call us by our names, but talk to us as a womanly body part. Wake up, Yisrael. Until next week, Yehonathan Dawid with you here, Yahweh for Christians, at gmail.com 443-306-3518. Shalom, shalom. Don't you know?